next year. It's usually done in the month of February, but they do the announcement in November, entering into December, and that's when all the big announcements happen. It happens in the month of February next year, 2024. Who has been nominated from Ghana? Well, we'll be finding out when we come to get into those details and also see how many have been released so far. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting into the National Theatre. It's been big on the trends over the last few days on the state of the National Theatre, how well it's being taken care of, and the possible maintenance issues associated with it as well. We'll be looking at the Grammy issue, and then Manchester United has been in a bit of a losing streak. Well, is this something that's going to be persisting? The sports analyst as well will be getting into that because it's been big on social media. So don't go anywhere. The trends continues. And you're tuned in to The Trends right here on TV3. My name is AJ Kwako-Sapon. A very big thank you to Arlie Lurie for my lovely outfit and First Choice for my hair. Now, I'm joined in the studio with Scanty, Talia Kianipa, and Edem Mensah, who are going to be helping me dissect the issues of all the biggest trending stories this week. Number one on that has been the National Theatre. The National Theatre of Ghana, which was opened in 1992 and has served as well in terms of being the location in which all our biggest theatre events have happened, from plays to even some of our biggest events. Now, on social media over the last few days, has been trending on how bad the state of, or how bad it is in its state of disrepair it's in. It's currently on the screen now, as you can see. The chairs are out of loop. The covers, some are broken. The general filth and the general state of disrepair that the entire building has been left in over the last few years has been a bit of a problem. The staff members have been demonstrating over the management, and let's take a look at it.
It is very important she lives. She has retired, and she ought to live. Our problems can even be found around. Our fountain is there. Today, we smokers are invading the premises. When you enter this theater, our chairs are rotting, being eaten by insects. Nothing is being done. All our pipes are clogged. There are leakages in offices that we work in. There's no way forward, no leadership to make things happen. This is what we're asking for. If they can do, then new people should come in and help solve the situation.
And those are some of the staff members demonstrating on management and as well, stating that the state of disrepair is in is something you can attribute to them. Now, the National Theatre, which was built as a gift to Ghana, it's about 11,896 square meters, and is situated, well, where we know, right in the center of town, around the Independence Avenue and Liberia Road. And it was built by the Chinese and offered as a gift to Ghana. Now, over the last few years, and even though it's literally almost always booked out every other weekend, for some reason, and when it comes down to the repair and the maintenance, in fact, from the air conditioning, which I think a few years ago there was a big problem, so they now have to find ulterior way of actually doing it. So there's no proper central air conditioning now. They've done makeshift air conditions in vantage places to ensure that it stays cool. But even one thing I've realized that sometimes if you go and it's a very packed event, it gets really, really hot because there's no central air conditioning. The chairs are broken. It looks like literally it's rotting, and a lot of people have been speaking about it. Even recently, Dr. Mensah Otabil actually went on to say that the institution or the facility is severely malnourished. A lot of Ghanaians have been putting their mouth into it. Johnny has been doing a bit of Johnny's Bite on the state of the National Theatre. Now, Ghanaians also on social media are speaking about it. But Edem, let me come to you. What has been your view on how little maintenance work has been done to the National Theatre over the last few years?
I think it's quite unfortunate that we've gotten to this point, because this is a very huge monument, and aside it being a place for events among others, it also serves as a tourism, facility. Absolutely. Because that is a national theatre of Ghana. So when people come here, they are coming, some will come and look at the facility. And if you have to take them to some of the areas of the theater, I mean, what kind of experience are you giving tourists? They will not come again. What kind of name? So even looking at beyond the event, there is that tourism part because it's a monumental facility.
Absolutely.
I've gone to some of the offices there, and whatever is happening inside
It's worse.
because of what was happening inside, I wasn't surprised of what I saw
In
in
the
the main
offices.
auditorium. I wasn't surprised because the one which the outsiders are coming to see, if they know they care, then your office, which nobody literally comes there, Charlie, forgets yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to, as a country, we need to see maintenance as a very serious thing because if you are not pragmatic and you pile the thing, it will get to a point you will need more to fix
Thank
because
you.
it is from short term to medium term to long term. So if you do not do it on this basis, you will get problem. I think that for this number of years, I think one of the times I've heard about the maintenance was 2014 and 2019, where they had to break for some maintenance. But those maintenance, it wasn't that kind of overhauling because
yes.
the vacuuming, the fumigation, among other things. Now, if you go to the waiting room for artists, you don't go wait for them.
Oh my goodness! Like the one time, and I recently went. The last time I went there was maybe like 3 years ago, and it didn't even look more like a waiting room.
Go to the washrooms.
Yeah, you can't even use the
You
washrooms.
wait
Yeah.
till you go to the house. Because if you're not careful, you will go take some disease from there.
I swear.
It is not in the best of shape. And I have listened to the board. They held a meeting, and I held the board chairman, Nana Fredo Achimoforiata, speak, and he's saying, yes, we are aware of the deplorable state. I mean, from his tone, they are not happy about the demonstration, but the things are going back.
Yes.
And clearly you could see from what he said that there is no proactive plan to
fix
I
it.
mean, fix the situation. What he's trying to say is that it is not something you can just use 500,000 cities to do. It is humongous, and clearly there is no plan, meaning until there is a certain budgetary support, which is huge, they are helpless.
But do they not allocate? Because people spend an average, and I'm pretty sure it's over 10,000 cities. Now, come to you, Tilion, over 10,000. I think I'm yet to, and if my producer confirm the per day charge for me,
and even recently there has been a certain arrangement with those who do the play and comedians to do and share revenues with them. So like they do a couple of events there. So like the place is busy.
Yeah, because according to Fifi Coleman, it's about 12,000 cities for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So if I am doing a 3-day show there, that budget alone around 36,000 Ghana cities. If we even earmark a little bit of it, every event, just even a portion of it going into maintenance, eventually we could get the budget that we want.
And they have their own productions too.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I mean, I'm sure the ministry has seen it. As a matter of urgency, they need to put measures in place to affect this because it doesn't befit our status. December is coming. We are inviting the world to come. They are coming to watch our national theatre in this state. Very sad.
Tilly, your thoughts on the developing story about the National Theatre?
Well, for me, the story has been developing ever since I was working there.
Oh,
I was just waiting for the live lights for the world to also see what we saw when we worked there. First off, I think the board is not ready. They are actually not ready to get it fixed because if they were, I remember the last time I was on radio, they spoke to the board chair, Dana Fredra, and then they were talking to him, and we were suggesting that how about even if you're not getting any financial support from the government, how about you partner with private people? People have actually reached, apparently,
hey, what?
People have actually reached out to them
about the possibility of doing a PPP.
That, you know what, let's take care of certain things in there so that you add the money, you just add it to the productions. Those that come there to use, they said no, they won't do it. The man said
We
on
will
radio.
front the money.
Yes, the
and
man
fix the auditorium.
The man said on radio that no, they won't give it out to private people now. Are buying there. Meanwhile, and have you checked the red carpets that license? It's not more red though. It's brown carpet. Haven't you seen it? So they are not ready, and they are not willing to open their arms for help for private sectors to actually not to give everything out. We will take care of some bits and piece of it, and then you add it to the cost of the people that come and use the space.
The fact that the money won't come completely to them.
They won't do it. They said no. The man said no on radio. It's something they won't do. So it's not this conversation is not just about these people wanting something to be fixed. It's about the board. Are they ready? Are they willing to open themselves out for people to actually come in to help? And to me, I think the Chinese gifting Ghana something like this was one of our biggest problems because, listen, you can't give somebody something they can't maintain. It now becomes a burden to them. Clearly, there was no capacity built to maintain the National Theatre.
But we have the ability to maintain it.
We don't.
We can't even generate the funds to maintain it.
No, we don't. Clearly, we don't. You know something? If you've used, I have worked at the National Theatre before. If you've used the theatre often, there's always one person in charge of one thing. So if you are not lucky and the man that is supposed to bring the curtain down or raise the curtain up for your production is asleep, which normally he is. When production happens, you are dead. Your audience will be there, the show, and the man is asleep. I'm telling you one show, Lexi the comic, if you like one, they call him, he will tell you, raise carpets, the man, they couldn't find the man because production is natural. So the capacity that they have to even build for young people, whether the person is working, they say that if that man is not around, somebody can do capacity building. It's lacking in Ghana. The main reason why certain things at the National Theatre that I think can be fixed easily has not been fixed for a long time and has now become something that will get rotten or get too deplorable is because we don't have people that know how to actually fix it. And those that can, they are not willing to accept the help. So that is what you are going to see for a very long time. And until the board realize that, you know what, we don't have it, we can't do it. Let's open our arms because, see, we just saw tidal wave. We saw what Ghanaians have done. So are you telling me that there's no Ghanaian that can do this, can fix some of the things? I mean, how many years these Chinese build this thing for us? So there's no knowledge being built over the years to actually see that, oh, this thing, we need new knots, we need... No, they are just not ready. They are not ready. The leadership of the place, they are not ready. They are not ready to open up. The man said on radio, and I remember, said, no, they can't do it to... Almost say, oh, they're AC Nipo. Maybe an AC company will take care of it. All you have to do, maybe in the next 2 years,
we'll pay it in
installments. Even that, you don't have to pay it. So many productions add it so that people understand that, you know what, yes, if there is the central AC thing that is the problem, now it has been fixed. Okay, so because it has been fixed,
it's
maybe you add a bit more. Exactly, they will understand. Fifi Coleman said that if you do that, me as a production person, I will understand because I am bringing people into the space.
And I want it to be chilled.
Exactly.
So if it's been fixed, then why won't I pay?
They don't want to do it, my dear.
Well, we should switch them to conference center leadership.
Speaking of Fifi Coleman, he was on New Day, and this is what he had to say about the debacle.
12,500.
12,500
for 4 hours.
For 4 hours.
Whether so, even if you had an issue with it, they are telling you that this is how our theater is. If you want to use it, this is how it is. After paying 12,500, which they will tell you is a rebate price. More. Let's talk about air conditioning. Air conditioning in National Theatre. At least provide me some cool breeze to sit in the AC. There are no windows in the National Auditorium. I don't know whether anyone expects this. There are no windows at all. So if the air conditioning system is broken in that building, people are literally finding themselves more than actually keeping their eye on the screen to enjoy whatever it is.
Well, yes, that's what ACE theater director Fifi Coleman had to say about that. Now, let me come to you, Scanty. Yeah. As a content creator who, I mean, institutions such as this, would it not be great if it was open, it was more accessible, it gave access to the creators to be able to explore themselves more in?
Yeah, it would. But then you see, this is the challenge we are facing in Ghana here. As my sister was saying, maintenance is a very big problem for Ghanaians, not just the National Theatre. And you see, the cost of maintaining the facility, people don't know, but it's more expensive than even putting up the facility. 1992 till now is 33 years.
Yeah.
33 years now. And then we are still here fighting about or complaining about a facility that has been built, was gifted to Ghanaians. If we want to maintain this, it's very easy to do. But then it's like, okay, she was saying about, okay, we can outsource to the private entity. Let's come together. Okay, take this part, we'll add the charges, and then we'll get money from it. But no, we have kids coming up. A lot of kids, the only place they know is the National Theatre. They all want to be there. And generations upon generations coming in, and then this is what they do. This is a place that's supposed to be like a museum where we can do different things. But then, now look at the States. We sit here, we complain every single time. This is not the first time. This is not the second time. I've been there just twice. And the first time I was there, the heat was so much. But when you complain, they will tell you, oh, we are sorry, we'll work on it. The second time I was there, the same thing. The washroom, as he said, worse. The washroom is very, very worse. So content creators right now, in our states now, we just have to do our things in our own space. Because if you want to do it out there, you get there. And the kind of value you want to get, you won't get it. And in the end, people won't criticize you. They won't criticize the facility, but they will criticize you, the content creator, for putting up a show there. So it's very, very worse for us. But then we hope as we sit here and we speak, they will work on it. But let's see how it goes.
Now, in terms of the management team, the workers themselves have been agitating. He's a board chairman. It seems the managing director has been there for about 12 years or more. They're willing to renegotiate and renew his contract, amongst many others. It seems the old guard refuses to change, refuses to move for there to be new, fresh blood that may be able to inject the change or the excitement or even the renovation that is needed, or at least a plan for it into the system.
But if you don't want to go for the new person to come, just do the work.
Yeah.
That is the only solution. Okay, if you can be there for 50 years, we don't mind. The problem is, fix it. When you fix it, people want you to be there forever. But if you want to be there every single time, and then every single time we'll mention your name, keep mentioning your name, and the facility is still the same, then why are you still there? If you can't do it, leave the job for people who can do it. That's one problem that we are facing in Ghana here. Let someone do the work. We won't. People who cannot do it are in positions. You are managing a place for 12 years and they want to renew your contract. What are you doing right? Or what are you telling people we are going to fix it? No. Let someone come to you.
Well, let us know your thoughts about it. Use the hashtag the trends, or you can tweet at me at AJSapon, and then let us know what your thoughts are on this national theatre issue. What do you think should be the next logical step? Should we be looking at probably even the Chinese coming back to do a total overhaul of the National Theatre and doing a proper renovations? It's been 31 years, and it would be ideal maybe after a certain amount of time there should be some renovations. Is that a plan put in place? Is there even a budget set aside for maintenance? Is a big question we should be asking. Tweet at us at AJSapon, use the hashtag the trends, and let me know your thoughts. Now, big right now on the trends, number one on the list is the Grammys. The Grammys is currently releasing the list for next year's Grammys, and at this particular point in time, we're all looking to see who is nominated for what. Which Ghanaian is going to be getting that, hopefully getting a nod in the Grammys. So far, we only have Rocky Dawuni, who's been the only Ghanaian. Has it been the second Ghanaian? Well, we've had people who've gotten peripheral, contribution, Guilty Beats, and Fuse ODG.
MCT beat producer.
And okay,
He
so
got it on Coffee, Black Coffee.
Black Coffee's own. Okay, so we Joshua Morsey. Okay, he's an instrumentalist who's also gotten a certificate. So we've had people who've gotten on the peripherals as their contributions, but we've not had a Ghanaian artist as yet win a Grammy. And we've had only one, Rocky Daoni, be nominated for a Grammy. Now the question is, are we gonna get a nod this year? Hopefully, someone else joining the ranks of Rocky Dawuni. Well, take a look at this.
For Best African Music Performance, the nominees are Amapiano, Ashake and Olamide. City Boys, Burna Boy. Unavailable, Davido featuring Musa Keys. Rush, Ira Star. Water, Tyla.
Yes, so Ghana didn't get the big nod for that particular one for getting the Best African Music Performance. That was Amapiano, Asake, and Olamide, City Boys, Burna Boy, Unavailable, Davido, Rush, Iris Star, and Water, Tyler, who is also from South Africa. So we had Nigeria presenting and then South Africa with Tyler. Also, we've got Best Global Music Album, and that also featured some Nigerians. We had Burna Boy for I Told Them, Davido for Timeless, Susanna Baka for Epiphanius, I think, Shakti for This Moment, and Bukanti for History. Now, big news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news now. It seems we have a Ghanaian who has joined the ranks of a possible Grammy nomination. Amore has scored her first Grammy nomination after featuring on Janae Monet's The Age of Pleasure album, which has been nominated for the Best Album of the Year. So Album of the Year, Janae Monet has been nominated for Best Album of the Year, and it features a song with Ghana's Amore titled The Age of Pleasure. That's the name of the album. The album also features Ghanaian-American record producer Nana Kwabena Tufo, who is also noted for co-producing Jidena's classic platinum single, Classic Man. So that's good news there. We have two Ghanaians on that particular album, Janae Monet's The Age of Pleasure. So we have Amore and as well Nana Kwabena Tufo. So congratulations, big congratulations going out to Amore. She's doing amazing things, and of course, it's so good to see that she is also getting the big nod when it comes down to the Grammy. I was hoping she would get a nomination for her work, which was absolutely incredible as well, but for The Fountain Baby. But this is also great. This is great. Adam, do tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's one of those moments. I mean, especially looking at the bars which greeted the Grammys introduction of new category, the African Best Performance. We all thought that this is the time for us to be able to, I mean, sneak through and get that much awaited nomination. We were all happy, you know, so we were asking our artists to, I mean, keep working hard and keep getting the plugs on together. And we saw a couple of artists doing the needful to make this day.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it didn't happen the way we all wanted, but I want to believe that that is not all. I'm not sure the 66th Grammy Award will be the last award. There will be other awards. What it means is that when you are going and you start, you need to get back and get your act together and go. Davido made a post after getting 3 nominations. You know, he's been dying for the Grammy nomination for many years.
He has.
It has not happened for him, and it happens, and it's 3 nominations. So he writes that delay is not denial. So that is
true,
what I want us to take home. We need to persist. We need to be consistent. Let's keep pushing. It has not ended. Let's keep working hard, getting the plugs on, getting the right links. And I'm sure at the right time, that day, which will be our 10th, we may make numerous nominations. So let's keep working hard. But I will urge other fanatics to cool down. It's not easy on Twitter.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen the SM people go at Stoneboy. I don't understand.
I don't think it's something to gloat about when you're an artist that we all hoped will get a Grammy nomination doesn't. It's not. It advances our fortunes.
Of course, it brings attention
exactly
to us. It creates awareness.
Because at this point,
I'm surprised why
that people are
not pushing for the artist that my artist should have been there, but rather are faulting somebody who didn't get there. They don't want to get sad, or they don't want to get disappointed for the artist not making it, but they are disappointed another artist didn't make it, and they are happy. I'm really surprised. I mean,
Yeah.
we need to, cool down
better.
some of these fanaticism
Okay.
because it doesn't take us anywhere.
True, true. So Burna Boy gets 4 Grammy nominations, sitting on top of the world in Best Melodic Rap category, City Boys in Best African Performance category, I Told Them in the Best Global Music Album category, and Alone in the Best Global Music Performance category. As well, also getting a nomination is Fireboy DML, who's earned a Grammy nomination in Album of the Year for his contribution to John Bastier's World Music Radio. So some of the Nigerians getting big nods there. But at least Amir Ray has also gotten a nomination for Best Album of the Year. Now, Stonebwoy was on Beanie Man's album, which got a nod for Reggae Album of the Year, but you only get a nomination, or you're known for your contribution on that album only in Album of the Year or Best Album of the Year. So that's how come we're not stating that categorically. But Tilly, your thoughts?
Okay, so I think I'll base my comments majorly on the Best African performance. So when the category definition came and then the genres, the genres they were considering and all of that. Honestly, I'm not surprised that on that list, most of them has been the Afrobeats, because we are in an era where the Afrobeats has become the big thing from Africa, because I was actually hoping to see a more eclectic category, like, maybe a bit more from South Africa, maybe two, that kind of thing. But I realized that still the Afrobeat thing is popping in there, and it means it's just simple. It's because the world is listening to Afrobeat now, and the Nigerians are the ones that are championing the Afrobeat. So I'm not surprised that we see this list and then we have more Nigerians in there, and Tyler from South Africa won. And even that, her song even has that kind of element of this Afrobeat thing, and the way they've pushed it into the same realms where they've pushed the Afrobeat. I'm not surprised. Now let's just wait for the years coming, because now they've tested it and they use clearly the biggest sound from Africa, which is Afrobeat. So I'm hoping that the more they move forward, they will open up to other genres and understand what it takes to create such music. And because clearly they use the biggest songs from Africa. And the last time I checked, popularity was not part of the things they considered. So really,
well, true.
Now that the list that you've made, especially with the Tyler one, makes me a bit more suspicious on that popularity element they claim they do not use.
Because honestly, the song came out, I think, in June or July.
And the song is everywhere. All of a sudden,
literally, she
gets a.
So I think popularity really ties into
at least for this particular category.
Yeah, because they need. But again, it's also because I think they don't understand our music landscape.
That's what I'm
what
saying.
What breaks through is what they consider.
That's why I'm saying that.
What is known to
most
of
them
the Academy members.
Yes,
is what
so
they
that's why I'm saying that now it is no news that Afrobeat, a lot of them, because the world is listening to Afrobeat now. So what is breaking through out there is Afrobeat. Yeah. So let's give our people the chance to move. Also, I don't fault any fan that wants to make laugh at other people. No, I don't fault them. It's not right, but I don't fault them. Because the other people would have done the same. Well. But it also shows the problem we have with fanatism in our country, where we all have to push a big agenda, a national agenda. That is where we see fans doing fanfula things. But the other people would have done the same. It's as simple as it's true. They would have done it. So
you know what I find quite interesting, and I'm wondering how South African Twitter is taking this part. How Ashtake and Olamide are nominated for their song Amapiano. So Amapiano, as the title of the song, which was done by Nigerians, is rather receiving the Grammy nomination.
Imagine a Nigerian does a song called High Life, and High Life gets it.
Can you? But that's all I'm reacting. How is South African Twitter going crazy about this?
The South Africa, Nigeria
beef is already there. So South Africans must be going absolutely nuts on social media. And we'll try and see if we can get some of that commentary as well. But the problem with them is that they'll start speaking in English and then they'll switch to Zulu. You do understand again. But Scanty, what are your thoughts about the Grammy nomination so far?
It's sad as a Ghanaian because this year, at least, we were expecting Stonebwoy to at least get a nomination in there. And looking at this category, you see, for the Best African Music Performance, We have 4 Nigerians in there. We can't compete at this point. We just have to
Give up.
Yes, we have to give up. We can't compete.
Yeah.
When did Ashake come? But this is him.
Yeah.
We have artists here years upon years. We want to get there. What are we not doing right? We sit back. This year we'll sit back, question ourselves. Next year we'll come back and we'll still not be there. Is it our music? Is it the reach? And you see with the fanatics, see, even the artists themselves, they are doing it among themselves. So if the fans are doing it, they are just learning from the artists. Shatta Wale was featured, Beyonce featured Shatta Wale. Even though when the video came out, people were like, oh, it was fake, Shatta Wale. You see, we try to create a whole issue out of something that is small. And happening to Stonebwoy, you see other artists coming up because they know my artist didn't release any album. He didn't put out any better music. The person that put out the better music, do it and let's see. And this is so we just said, yes, that's what the fans will be doing. Okay, this year everybody will say, okay, we wanted to see at least Black Sherif or Stonebwoy there. But then here we go, we have Ashake and then Burna Boy, Davido. If you look at this list, we can't force any Ghanaian artist here. If you look at this list here, if there's a chance for us to force someone there, that is fine. We can fight it. But looking at this list, we are not going to enter.
And
but
if you
sit back,
see
we'll
the
come
songs
back.
there, I mean, the songs have been doing the chart topping, I mean, across various platforms. And they are well deserving to be there.
Exactly.
And let's keep working. It should inspire us to get better and get there. Rather
But
than
what are we not doing?
throwing
now?
our hands in despair. You know, it's a cocktail of a lot of things. It's not as if we are not doing right, but it's like we are now moving into that space. And that is important. I was happy, head Kwame Eugene, I was in the studio with him and he said he went to Empire studio in New York. He went to record a song. They played it to him and
It sounded
he was
different.
like,
Is
what?
it the same thing?
He went to Marvin's in Nigeria and they had similar equipment in their studio. I mean, it tells us that we have a lot of work to do in terms of the sound, everything. So it's a cocktail, connecting, plugging, and other things. So I think we have seen the light and we are moving. And I'll not be surprised when our time comes, it will come big.
And also, having also been to the Maven's recording studio, we went earlier this year when we went for the AMVCAs, and the amount of equipment and setup, they even have a whole room just for rehearsals of the artist. Then you'd understand why Aria will earn her first Grammy nomination.
Listen, even when you talk to our producers in Ghana, they will tell you that Ghanaian producers do not like buying even the things they have to use. They want to use the crack version. And the crack version, you will never get the correct sound. You won't get it.
On that note,
This transaction, it happens everywhere.
right? On that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting into the world of sports, a few developing stories, including Manchester United. What are their fate? What's going on? What's with the losing streak?